We are back here in the main auditorium, so to speak, from our breakout session to our own YouTube screen, I think mostly. So I hope that worked well for you. The link is there, so everybody's ready. And Angelique, this is of course a very special project. And I talked also to your colleague Aaron earlier, and he said, and you didn't show it in the video, but he said the participation really involved people building blocks like a big Lego and defining spaces, what the sizes are. And in the end, the people said, but we designed it, it's not the architect.
Yes, I think it's really true, because there was in the beginning, there was a different plan. And we asked people, the first sentence of maybe the first important question is, how do you want to live? And from that on, you have to think, what do I need at space? Or how will I my house? Which space do I want in my house? So the first question is really, how do I want to live with myself, with my neighbors? So that's very important. And I think really they designed the houses and the blocks, because in the beginning there were 2 blocks, and at the end we had 7. Because people wanted spaces between, you want to walk through the blocks. A little bit mysterious, maybe.
So the design really changed due to participation. And I also heard that people say, like it feels like on vacation, it's like a built happiness, but this has not been like a target on its own, but that's the feedback that you're getting from the audience, which is of course perfect. But when we talk about nature inclusivity and climate adaptation, why do you think is this co-creation process even more important today?
Because I think we get other solutions. When you look at social housing companies, they maintain a lot of buildings, houses, and they will change. We get other materials, we get other things. And I think the most important thing is that people understand why we choose materials, or why the solutions are different. And if you want that they use them, they have to understand why. And I think their solution are technical, no problem. But it's really important that people accept them, because you can build a neighborhood without a car in it, but when somebody thinks I need a car in front of my door, then you are gone. And I think now we have a lot to do in our society. And when you talk with people, then you talk about how they want to live, but you also talking with people who are alone. They need other people. And when you talk, then you get solutions at the same time, so you can cover more problems. So now, when I think the change what we are doing now, it's really, really important to do it with the people who going to live in the neighborhoods, to use the houses, because it's really different.
Yeah, and in the video, it was also remembered that, as we know in Holland, of course, there is 1 million houses to be built within a very short period, as
Yeah.
one of the people interviewed also mentioned. And this took a little bit longer, we heard, but it would be, of course, an ideal blueprint to do these projects much more often. And is there a lot of copycats by other architects? Does your office do more projects like these? Do you get many invitations to do this kind of project? What's the follow-up?
We not get many invitations. We have a lot of projects, but I think we get more. We need to have more, not for for INBO or for the other architects. We need it for the society, because you can solve a lot of problems at once. People can, when people meet each other, see each other, different things will happening. And it's not only the people who are maybe vulnerable, but also the expats who are coming to your city to live there. They want also to meet other people. So it's really important. But I think what is difficult, that's your own ego and maybe your own organization, because you have a lot of principles in your organization. And when you're going to do in co-creation, you have another process. And I think maybe is that a little bit problem. And people always think, I hear it a lot also for people who developed neighborhoods, they say, yeah, when you ask people how do you want to live, they all come with the swimming pool, and then they cannot afford it, and everybody wants to have very expensive things. But that is bullshit, because when you say to people, you can have this solution, but that will cost you this, then they say really, okay, that's not for me. I want another solution.
Yeah.
So it's
I think that's interesting also to hear, and there's learnings from that, and there's not so much follow up now. Also, other offices not in
I
this
think
degree.
more. We get more and more, and now we have the project together. In this month, what is saying a lot about collaborative housing. So I think it's really necessary. Yeah.
And is there anything you could share about the participation process? There's also one in the questions in the chat I see. Is there something you could share with other housing corporations or
Yes,
architects about the participation process?
Yes, because we make a book about Space S, because when you're going to ask people how do you want to live, you have to do other meetings. You cannot say with a PowerPoint presentation. So you do a lot of other things. So we built really houses with blocks at one. So people could see, okay, this is how big is my living room. Okay, this is my toilet. So you get a few, you have to be creative. And we made a book of it.
Is the book already available?
Yes, but it's in Dutch.
Okay, is it online or a real book?
It's online. I can send it. I will send it to you. Yeah.
Please put the link in the chat. And if it's online, I think Google Translate it. I think even, well, we'll see what Google Translate can help us if we don't speak Dutch. Otherwise, just learn Dutch, of course.
Yeah.
Maybe a final question, Angelique, to you before we move on to Marlies, our next speaker, also an architect. This is an unprecedented project, we honestly can say that. I think this form of participation intensity hasn't been seen before. Is there something like a next level Stripe S? What would be a next step for you as a company?
For me, it's the next step that we are going to build neighborhoods, not in the beginning with a program, but that we bring people together. And from that point, you have to watch what people need. And it's not only going about to live together, but also to work, to learn, to go to school. So we get not only a mix by people, but also a mix by function. And that's difficult because in the Netherlands, at the beginning, everything is organized. So you get a program. You have to do so many houses, so many this and that. And I think we have to make a step further, not at the beginning a program, but step by step design the program with the people who want to join, who want to live there or share the space.
So designing also the design brief together with the people who will live or work there. I think that's an inspiring thought to continue working on, also with IMO, and I'm very curious what the next projects will be. Thank you very much, Angelique.